Ladies and gentlemen, picture this. It's July 4th, a hot, sunny summer day, and you and your family are going to the shore for a week. You're in a gridlock traffic jam on the Benjamin Franklin Bridge going over to New Jersey. That bridge was built in 1926. You're high above the Delaware River. Then all of a sudden, you feel the bridge begin to strain. You see the big green pillars and cables begin to tremor. It feels like an earthquake, except the only difference is you and everyone else on the bridge are the only ones who feel this quake. As the bridge begins to fall into the Delaware, you hang on for dear life and begin to roll down the windows. Then down, down, down you go into the deep blue water. Good morning, class, judges, and Mr. Etikin. This morning my partner Ellie and I are here to prove to you that America needs a change. The change Ellie and I are talking about is in our infrastructure, specifically our transportation in the bridges and highways. Our resolution is resolved that the United States government should substantially increase its transportation infrastructure investment. The definition of investment, according to dictionary.com, is to put money to use by purchase in something offering potential profitable returns as interest, income, or appreciation in value. Another word I would like to define is infrastructure. According to dictionary.com, infrastructure means the fundamental facilities and systems serving a country, city, or area as transportation and communication systems, power plants, and schools. The resolution in simpler terms means the United States should drastically increase investments in nation's roads and bridges without having to raise taxes. In this debate, we will use the term invest while explaining what we should do with our money and how to fix this awful infrastructure we have in America. Investing it will help us fix it much better than spending. A brief history of some of the topics I will discuss. According to the History Channel's website, history.com, the highway system really started to get rolling in 1956 when President Dwight Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid and Highway Defense Law of 1956. This law authorized a 41,000-mile national system of interstate and defense highways that would, according to President Eisenhower, eliminate unsafe roads, inefficient routes, traffic jams, and all the other things that got in the way of speedy, safe, transcontinental travel. Now highways are failing, and they are part of the infrastructure crisis that our country faces. The history of bridges is quite a long one. The first stone bridge in America was built in 1967 in our state of Pennsylvania. The first suspension bridge was built in 1796 in central Pennsylvania. And the first bridge across the Mississippi River was completed in 1856. Our philosophy here at the affirmative side is quite simple. Ellie and I call it, repair the road to ruin. The philosophy should be fairly easy to understand. We are saying, if we don't fix our crumbling infrastructure, then we are headed towards ruin. Our bridges will collapse, our highways will crack. We need to invest more money and time in fixing this problem. Ellie will discuss this more in-depthly when she states her plan. The reason for us to fix the highway system is simple. There are 1 million miles of road in America that need repair desperately, demonstrating the need for change. According to InfrastructureReportCard.com, Americans spend a combined $67 billion a year in repairs due to bad roads. These are $67 billion that could catalyze jobs to improve upon the unemployment rate of 7.8%, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics as of December 2012. Transportation funds account for almost 20% of an average American's funding. When President Eisenhower put the 1956 Act into effect, there were 178 million people in America using these highways. Today, according to censusscope.org, there are 315 million people. This is a 137 million person population increase that was unforeseen by engineers who designed these roads, thus causing them now to start to break. Another reason why we need to invest in our infrastructure is our bridges. In America, according to InfrastructureReportCard.org, 161,000 out of 600,000 bridges are unsafe and in desperate need of repair. That comes out to a 26.8% total of the bridges. That number should be 0. There should be no unsafe bridges. The average bridge in America is 43 years old. That means it was made in 1969. That's the same year that we went to the moon, when television had no remotes and barely any color. Bridges should not be this old. They need to be replaced so nothing bad will happen, such as collapses and other failures. Refurnishing the bridges will also add jobs, because with 161,000 bridges, the people doing the repair would add up and help bring the economy back up to speed. In conclusion, we need a change. Our bridges are crumbling and our roads need fixing. We need a change, and only you can make that change. Make it not for you, but for your children and grandchildren. If we keep pushing off this problem, it will only get worse and more dangerous, causing the consequences to become unbearable. We have to fix it now. America has to take a look in the mirror and decide if we want to head down the road to ruin, or we want to rise back to being a top world power like in the heydays of the 40s, 50s, and 60s. The 21st century is ours for the taking. We can reintroduce ourselves as an all-around world power if we play our cards right. The rehab with this infrastructure will be a long and hard process, but in the end it will be worth it. Thank you, and vote affirmative.